Hello, my name is Derrick, and I am a hobby writer. I wrote my own book between the years of 1999 and 2014, and I released it in 2015. So it's been released now for just over 3 years, and it's on Amazon and independent websites such as Barnes and Noble and other things like that. And I've created this YouTube channel, and I've never done anything with it. I don't know why I waited so long to get around to reading each of the poems, one in a row, right to the end of the book. So it's like a poetry performance series, so to speak. And I'm gonna try to put emotions into the poems for sure. But not all of them I'm going to be able to do that, because a lot of them were just efforts to make something that sounded really poetic, but really they didn't mean a whole lot. Like, every poet or writer out there will not have every single solitary piece that they've ever made full of emotion, especially poets. I mean, there's going to be a number of poems where it's just something that they wrote, it sounds really cool, and that's it. There's a lot of other poems that have a lot of emotion into it. And for those, you got to do it a few times until you can reach that depth, that place in you where it came from. And sometimes that could be a gut-wrenching experience, because you got to mentally go back to that place that you were in, emotionally you were in when you wrote the poem, right? So, I mean, even when you sit down to try to reach that place, it's got to be in the right moment. You've got to have the time. You can't just sit down for 5 minutes before work. Sometimes, depending on what situation you were in life when you wrote that. So the reason why I mention that is because sometimes it might be 2 or 3 poems a day, or two or three poems a few days in a row, and then there might be a week without one. I'll try to put one up every day as much as I can, but that's not always possible. That's not always possible, because, like I said, sometimes it takes a long time to get to that depth for a certain poem. So anyway, this is a spoken word performance of my book, This Quest for That Final Horizon. It's the front cover. This is the back cover. Here, I'll put a link in the description where you can find it on Amazon.com. You can also find it on Amazon.ca. I'll provide both links in the description. And in the description for each poem, you'll find the full lyrics. So that's what I've got to say about what you will be seeing.